Hey and welcome. In this section you will learn how to build complete My Notes app. We will start teaching you how to design list view like this one and how to supply element as a list. Then you will learn how to add element in the database by enable these features and how to do this type of like cool. It is cool. So when you click OK, he will save this thing in the table in the SQLite database. Then we will learn a lot about menus and how we could design these menus, how to delete element, how to update element, and many things will go through these tutorials in this section. Also, you will learn how to change the language of your application with the device. So if the device running in English, you will see this language. If the other one download your application and his language is not English, for example, his language that he use French language, just by click here, just show you how to do that. Like if someone just have French language, he open your app, he will see everything in French, which is amazing features. You will learn it here. See how everything changed to French. So many things you will learn here. So let's get started. Hey again, let's get started step by step to build our application. So to get started, I will go to folder Android and I will create a new folder. I will name it Note App. Okay, and I would take copy from the startup project and go to the Note App and add it here. Okay, you know why? Because always we need project already have a configuration with Kotlin. So yeah, if you not familiar, again, go back to the first video and see why we did this. So to get started, I just open Android Studio and let me start step by step. So Android Studio, waiting seconds, and let me see what we could do. So I don't know what's the problem here. So let me just reopen. Here we go, this is Android Studio. I'll just click open a new project to open my project, which is on desktop, Kotlin, Android. Then I have Note App, Startup. Always this will be my startup project to drive from. So yeah, let's get started. Yes, after a while the project loaded, I will just first go to the model and change this one, the application ID, com.hussein, I will name it Notes App, okay? And I make sure to go to from build, then I say clean a project, so he could clean the project for me. Waiting for a while until he clean everything and continue. Now cleaned app, I just go to the resource. I have layouts, I have only main activity for now. So let me think about the design of our application. What we want to do, what we want our application to do, we want to see list of nodes, like the person who used this application see list of the node title and node details. So this node title and node details should be appear as a list. So you have to think about this layout, have list of nodes, like nodes 1, then nodes 2, and nodes to 3, and he will continue. So to do this, first of all, we have to think about something named ListView. So we add ListView, and this one is repeated. If you see it, I have same design will repeat it every time. So what I will do, I will add ListView, and also I will add something named ticket, and I will call this ticket every time in list view. So if I need to display 3 items, I will call this ticket 3 times to appear 3 times in this list view. So this is my startup part. So what I will do, I just search in the tool or widgets of where is this one lives. I am not sure where the list view lives, so he's not here. I could search for it. I think list view. Here is it. So I'll take it and I will add it here. I will add it full screen, like full width and high, like complete screen. I needed to take complete screen from all width and high. So I make match parent. Okay, so make sure it's match parent in every place. So if you have anything, just add it constraint from 4 parts. But in this case, like constraint will not work good for you. Like you will leave space and you get stuck something like not interesting. Better thing, use something name it linear layout. So if I just change this one to linear layout, okay, just change it, go back. If you see it now, he changed this layout to linear layout. Change whatever orientation you want, horizontal or vertical. Doesn't make any difference because you just want it to be a full screen. And that is like just this one full screen. Now if you see it, this one, just if you select it, it is match parent. So make sure it's match parent. And also if you just select this one, just change it to match parent. Why? You need your list view to appear complete in the complete screen. So if this one match parent, that means match the font size, then you add list view, make it match parent that match this one size. So this one equal font and this one equal this one. That means list view will be equal the size of the font, which is really interesting. This part. We said we need a ticket, so I just click right here and I will add a new resource file. I will name it ticket. Okay, it's better to name it ticket. Everything is small. If you see, it doesn't take the capital. So name it ticket. And select add. Okay, he will add it for you. If you open it, just normal layout, linear layout. So what I will do in this linear layout, if you see it, this linear layout is designed to be vertical. That means any content you added inside this one will appear on the vertical. And that's what I want for now. What I want to see this. I want to see widget that show him the title of the notes. So let's suppose as a text for now. This one just skip, make sure I don't have any error, go back. Let's suppose this one will hold the title, okay, and there is another one will hold the content of the notes. So to suppose this one should contain the content of the notes, okay. And I would add in the end 2 buttons, one of them to delete and one of them to delete and one of them to edit the notes. So if you just go and add 2 buttons more, what he will do, because this type of layout is the type of this layout linear vertical, that means any content he will add it one after another. So this button after this one, then this object one after another. Why? Because the type of the layout, you said I want this type of layout to be vertical. So for sure he will add them one after another. So let me just change the name of this one. Let me change this one to edit. And change the name of this one to the whatever you say. If you want to name it to another name, which is delete. Okay, delete, just for now. So one after another doesn't work for me. I want them one beside another, but I cannot add them one beside another unless I have another layout. If you see, I have 2 layouts. If I use this one, see it how it appear, I could add one beside another. So if I use this one, which is vertical, should be one under another. So it's better to take this one, add it here, and move this one inside it, and move the second button inside it. What will happen here, see, he will take, because this one is vertical, so the content, 3 of them will be one under another. So 1, 2nd, 3rd, 3 of them one under another. But this one, because horizontal, the content of it should be horizontal. But if you see, this one will take it all the remaining of the screen. I don't want them to take all the screen. I want to take only the content, just wrap content. I don't want to use unnecessary place in the screen. So I'm using only this part in the screen. So this is basically my ticket. So the title of the ticket should be like little bit like larger. So if I just selected properties, I think something related to the text size. Let me make the title 18. Okay, I think it's be better. If you see it, if you want to make it more, make it more. So if you want to change the text color, you could change it here to any color you want from the device, like this color. Yes, if you don't like it, again, change it to any color you would like. So this is like the standard, and this is the content, whatever the content you want to add. For me, for testing, I will just look through any content. Let me just use this one. I don't know what this one means, but just come up in front of me. So I add this content inside it. So just show it as a ticket so you will understand how to update it. So just go back, the text of it, change it to this way. Yes, so it appears like a ticket. Now let me apply some design to this one. So what I need to add something drawable, folder drawable. So under resource directory, I will add some folder, name it drawable. You know why? Because drawable will help me to add some layout. So I would use this one. I would create a new resource directory. I would name it background. Okay, something related to background. So background layouts, you could name it underscore layout. Just this name, give it. Okay, so I already designed this one before, so I don't want to design it again. I already did this work in the previous work when we did the work with find my age. I think get sunset application app src main resource, then we have it in the drawable. We already designed the background one, so I would use this one as a background. So let me just take it and add it here. This is my background. To make sure it's work fine, just review it. Yes, this is my background. If I take this background and apply it on this ticket, I would say, wait, I have this ticket, I want this ticket to take the specific background. But if you see, this ticket may and may not show up in the way that I want. So if I just say, hey, I want this ticket to take the background, so Android background, I needed to take it from the drawable. I want to take this one, drawable. So it doesn't appear in the way that I want it to appear. So why? Because if you look here, you would see like it took all the screen. It is better to add, let me suppose I want to add some padding. So I say our margin before it to make sure. If you see Android margin layout, let me suppose 15 PD. So you would see it here. See how is it, how it appear. So now just show it to you. So this is my real layout, how it appears, just taking 10 PD, but I don't want it to take all the screen. So it's better for me to don't select match parent as a height, select wrap content. So it just take what I want. What I see now, just I have a ticket, and this ticket have this color. But if you see the background is still, I cannot manage it because it is like outside my scope. I'm just managing this one. I need to manage complete work. So it is good to take this one, add it here, get a new layout here, take all this content. So what I will do now, take all these, move them inside this one. So it should be this my second level layout now. Now this is my layout. So what I will do, this one is still match parent. I say always the high will be wrap content. This one high, keep it wrap content. But now if I go here, I have two layouts. So what I will do, I say, hey, take this one as a padding, move it to this one. Take this one as background, move it to this one. And again, when you move it, both of these here, use just this one, add specific background to it. So Android background, let me use the white color. If you remember, I already add a specific color. You just color here, I already have a color, but see how does it appear. But I don't want it to appear this one. I want to use specific color. But before that, see this one appear on the top, this one down, This one should be app, and this one should be next. Just how to organize. I want the whole complete will be in different color. That I already did this color before, and we already bolded, which is here in values. If you remember in colors, we just have this color gray. Gray would help us to get gray color. So let me just add that gray color here, and after I added here, take it, this is gray, and apply it on this ticket. So I say, hey, I want this one to take Android gray. So looking back here, this is too much 10. If I just say 3 from all sides will be good. So now if you see the gray will take a 3. So the ticket look like nicer. Like see it? How much nicer? See, look like ticket. Like see how you just add title, description, 2 button in the down, and yes, something nice. And you could apply same thing for this list view just to make it also using same pattern. Just let this one also use the background gray. So both of these use background gray. So when you add the ticket inside, it appears as a ticket. So yes, this is my first activity. It should be appearing this way, how I list items. I would do same thing for the second activity. So now I need to add another activity, which is have same that thing just for adding. But wait, before I add this one, did you see this ticket? I don't like this one appearing this way. It's better to use images. So if I just go here, go to the Google, search for Google icons. Okay, then yes, material icon should be the page name, and this is the page. So see, there is many icons. I could use them. If you see, delete. If I just Control F, I look for delete. Was he able to find something about delete? There's too many icons. See this one, you can use it for delete. If you just click on it, you select which one, and it's PNG. Just click, he will download it. If you see it is downloaded here, and he download for Android, web, whatever. I just select Android. You could select which size that you want. Let me take this size for now. Later on we'll talk about sizes. So this IC delete, just copy it, go back to the project, and add it here, Control V, IC deletes. So now it's better, instead of using button here, if you use this as button, you could apply image on it, but it's better to use image instead of these 2 buttons. So let me just take these buttons. I don't like them to be in my ticket. I just use images will be better. So if you just look here, image, so img view, I take this img view, add it here. He asked me, do you want to use one? Let me use this one as an image for it, and also take another image and add it inside it. He asked me again, do you want? Let me for now use this Android for it. I will add for the edit one. They have to have edit also. So if I just Control F, I select edit. Hopefully he will be able to look something about, yes, here is it. I think yes, we could use this one. Color edit maybe will work. So if you select, there's many things about editing. So note edit, this one you could select it. I think it is more nicer. Just download it, and yes, should be the second one. Hopefully, select from Android. I will select this size, copy, go back to Android Studio, Control V, and apply it on this one, which is this image view. If you just see the code of it, so he used SR resource. If I just select here, I say, hey, from drawable, please look for this one, which is AC model, delete this one. So yes, here sound to me like better from the first one. If you see if you think the image size too much, make it like 15 pt. Yes, if you see 15, make it 13, if 20, whatever the size you think it is fine, will be good. So 20 by 20. Yes, it's so on this one good. This one will make it 20 by 20. Yeah, now they are better than first time. So if you see how they are appear, just two of them, delete, edit, will be like nicer. Yeah, nicer from the first time. So yes, this is for the design of the ticket. I just want to go to next video and just add like data doesn't make anything, then we will add real data. Hey again, in the previous video we did design for our layout and we added list view, and we designed also the ticket. We designed in this way, which have title and description. Now what I want to do in this video, I want just fill it with dummy data, what doesn't make any sense. So to get started, let me just go to the here and create a new class. This class I will suppose will hold the information about nodes. So I say nodes, okay? I give it name a node. So here, what do you think as a node as object? So if I say node, single node, what do you think this one will have? It should have three properties. If I work with a database, first it should have variable for node ID. So you say node ID. Okay, let me follow the naming convention. Node ID, I suppose this one should be integer, and initial value doesn't have anything, and also have three of these. I have also a variable for the node's name. Okay, node's name I suppose is string, again doesn't have anything, initial value null. I also have variable node's description, should have string and doesn't have anything, initial value is null. Yeah, that's three properties that I needed to show up. So first thing you have to think about it. First you design your list view, then you design your ticket, then what the ticket need. Ticket need title and need description. I define title and description. I added ID because the ID is the way for me later on to update the ticket. So I define here my constructor. The constructor take three parameters. Take the ID. The constructor also take the node's name, and constructor also take node description. This is three properties, and for sure I just need to set them. So this should be this dot nodes ID equal the coming node ID for the class. See how much the object identity is important now. So if someone told you object identity is not good, so don't follow them. Wait, sorry, I have to use all these small, so I just avoid any calling error. I just don't know why I did it. So node's name, node name, I think equal the node name, and for sure I have the third properties, which is this dot node description should contain node description. So this is my nodes. What I will I go to the main activity, and here I would add list of nodes. So let me just as a dummy data, I define here my list view. So I say variable should be list for list of nodes, list for nodes. Okay, and this list of nodes should be array list of string, array list of the nodes, because I have a class of nodes. So array list of nodes should be doing in this way, and as initial value you could give it like equal null initial value. So this is just you define your array list. I define, hey, I have array list, and this array list, so maybe this way of define is not correct. You could use this way, just direct, I think, just because you create a new instance from that one. Yes, here we go. You just define an instance of array list. So array list, you just add 3 elements inside it. Let me suppose add dummy data, and I suppose, hey, array list dot add. I'm adding inside it. So I'm adding nodes inside it, and this node should take 3 parameters. First the ID, second one the title, so meet professor, and the third one is the description. Let me suppose any description you have it. I would use this description that I already have. It's too much text, and also it's good for me to reuse it, because make it like easier for me to I just install this text. Why take it from here? Why don't take it from here? Sometimes we do things like, yeah, let me take this text here. So this is for the first one, And going back to my main activity, I just add this notes, whatever, not semicolon, just add 3 of these, just 3 elements. You maybe want to add more, please go ahead, just add 3 elements. So the ID number 2, ID number 3, ID number 2 meet doctor, this one meet friend, whatever, just 3 notes, friend. Okay, for now just 3 elements. So now I have the data. So see how we work with ListView. First define ListView, define the ticket, then define the data. Now the important part, I want to take this data and add it inside this ListView. How I do that? First of all, I have to define a new class. So I'll just name it adapter. So you said, hey, inner class, this should be inner class, and this class should be like my notes adapter. This one should be responsible for adapting your work. So as initial thing, I don't have anything as input, but I'm just inheriting something, name it base. This one, name it base adapter. Why base adapter? This class already been implemented and it's responsible for working with adapt data from this format to the ListView. So for sure you have to have a constructor, and this constructor also you need base adapter and constructor, so you need to call the super constructor. This is what we know all the time. But wait a second, I have a constructor. Well, this constructor may take, constructor, I would suppose this constructor will take array list of nodes, okay, to make my work like more professional. I say, hey, yes, I am here getting input list. So I say list nodes, and this one I just get it as input. Make sure you already define list here something about this list. So this list nodes, and you just say, hey, this dot list nodes equal this nodes. You just like passing the data to this adapter. Why? Because when later on you want to pass data, it's really easy to pass it. You could list node adapter to make it like easy to read for you, so you don't confuse with that name and this name. So now if you see, hey, he give you error, he say, hey, you need to implement specific methods. If you see all these methods, you need to implement them. If I select first one, shift, select all of these methods, he will ask me to implement all these methods. I will take this code and move it up and try to understand the method one by one. Okay, let me start from this one. Get item, you return a specific item. He say any item may be returned. So it's basically, he will get the possession and he will return the item. So basically you say, hey, return the item according the possession, which is B0. This one should be defined as a possession. This one, get item by ID. I'm not using this item anymore, and I don't know why it use it, but basically return for it whatever it get here. If you get here P0, name it P0.2 long. Why too long? Because he need return value as a long. It depends on what's too long. Okay, make sure on this way. It depends on the name you have it here. If you have it something named possession, make sure you use the word possession here. Now this is important part you have to think about it. Get account. The adapter have to know how many items you want to load. So if I receive 5 elements here, I have to tell him, hey, I want to load 5 elements. So I have to return the size of whatever I get. So I say the size. So what will happen if I get a 3 element here, I send it, the adapter, base adapter will directly call this method. Say, hey, this one have 3 items. So let me call this method 3 times. Again, he will, first thing he will read this method, get account. He will understand you have 3 elements. He say, okay, I will call this method 3 times. What this method will do get view, will show view. What he will do, this method, will get the item and get the XML file. Take your items, whatever text you have it, followed with this one and inject it inside the ListView, and he will continue. This is good start. So to connect between the code and the view, I have to define something, name it my view. So I say it my view, and I name it, I say layout inflator, or I think this one's something new, dot inflate. Okay, what this thing mean? That's mean, hey, I want to fill this XML ticket with this code. So first of all, I need to connect with this ticket. How to connect this ticket? I have to say layout inflator dot inflate. This XML ticket, where is live? Resource layout ticket. So I say r dot layout dot ticket. This is my ticket. Okay. Then the second parameter null, I send it, or you could send them the group one, P2 he named it. You could name it the group. So you get it now. So now I need the element that I want to add it here. Now my view will represent this ticket in the code. So now I want to get the element. So that's good. I could get the element. I have it here. I say, hey, where's my element? I say variable like the note one, or I could say name it my note. Oh, cool. Whatever element he selected. This one will be position. If they name it position, get it as a position. If they name it P0, get it as a P0. Whatever they name it for you. So just take the name. Okay, now I have the view. I have the item that I want to display. So when this one have 3, if he call first like 0, this one will be index 0. I will get item that I have in the 0, which is this one. I need to get the 0 here. Fill this ticket with the information of the 0. Pass it or inject it inside the list view. So how I do that? Really easy process. First of all, if I go to the ticket, I see what I have. I have this one, this text view, which is this one. Let name it text view. Let me name it text TV title. Okay, title. And this one I will name it TV description. TV description. Okay. And okay, I want to access to this elements. Really easy process. Just go here and say, wait, you have my view, which is my view. This one will represent my view in the code. Let me access to it. Okay, I say, hey, my view, which is this one. There's many way. Let me start the basic one. My view dot the name of the text view, which is text view title dot text. Oh, cool. Whatever you want to add in it. I have this one information inside it. So I say dot. If I just select dot, I have information about name. Hey, add the name here. Same thing, my view dot TV description dot text. Add the my note dot the note. I name it note description. Should be note. So now yes, I have the ticket. I have item. Getting the item, add inside the ticket. Very basically, he need to return the view. So he need me to return this one for him. I say, hey, return that view, and that is. We will talk later on about the button for add and update. So this is very easy process to now how to inject element in the adapter. So now you have everything ready. Just hey, let me set up my adapter. So how to set up the adapter? First of all, just go here. I have the element, define instance from adapter. I say variable my nodes adapter will be a new instance from adapter. This adapter will take information about the node as a constructor. So send the node for him. So you just get a new instance. This instance will go here. He get whatever you send. He initialize it, and that is. So your adapter now they have information about your data. Now you want to set this adapter to what? To this list view. So what's the name of this list view? Doesn't have any name, any ID. So let me name it list view nodes. Okay. So should this list view have a list view nodes? Okay. So that means this list view will hold all the information about all the nodes. We will have it in the code. So really easy and basic process to set up this thing. So you just go back here and your main activity. So you have this one, list view dot, you set adapter. You say set adapter, hopefully. Set. Oh, it's just, I think they just updated to adapter only. So adapter, and yeah, you're done. Very basic process. Let me just run it and make sure. Here we go. Yes, that's great. See, he just loaded all the tickets now. So now, yes, we are good and everything sounds great. Maybe the ticket here, I didn't like this way how he appear these elements. Like 20 by 20, but he tried to fold them here. You could add some space here, like spacing here before them if you don't like them. So and say, hey, this is space. I wanted always to take like a match, the width for it will take match parent, but also see how it's do it. You just do it match parent, and this one, if you see it, just increase them maybe 20. I didn't like it 20. It's too small. 20. What about 40 and 40? Yeah, sound good to me. 20, 40 and 40, and this one make it 40 and 40. But yeah, I think now they should sound good to me. But if you see this line, like he take all the screen, this is better to say, hey, this line weight will be specific time. But no, yes, I think they are good. I think they are good. If I want to change them in the design, I would change the height of them, maybe change them to 30, if maybe, or 20. Just make it nicer. Yeah, yes, I think this is 20. Not always our design will be good. Sometimes you need to change it, and always you add little bit spacing between them. So I just select this one and say, hey, this one I want you to add Android padding or margin to the right, like specific amount to make it nicer. Yeah, this is like very basic process how to fill out the element like with the data, and we will use same pattern a lot. So yes, here is it. Did you see why I added the space? The space helped me to add space before them and make this space taking match parent, so all the remaining space will be followed with the empty while these still using. I will run it here. I will not run rerun the app because I just changed XML only. So if you change only XML, you don't need to rerun complete the app. You just need to run the XML and you're done. Hey, what he complain about? He complain about this one should be PT, I think. Yes, I think. Yeah, PT, because I just didn't mention PT. So he was, hey, why you define it without giving me PT? I'm not taking this one. So yes, always adding, always there is bugs, but making our code nicer and clean will be very amazing for us. So yes, here we done, and thank you for watching, and see you next. Hey again. The list was we did it in the two previous video was great, and we was able to design this one and float with data. Now let me go more forward. I now want to design the layout for the adding new nodes. So adding a new node, I will not do it in this page. I have to create a new page. So to get started, I have to go to the layouts, click right, then I select from here, I look for activities. So activities, then I select empty activity. Okay. When I select empty activity here, I give it name add nodes. Okay, because I want to use it to add the nodes to my project. Make sure everything cool, make sure you use same package name here. If everything is okay, no error, just click OK. So he will build this activity for you. Still, he created the new activity. He made it as a Java file. So if you don't like it, how is Java? For sure you don't like it. No, he just created Kotlin. That's great. He not created as a Java. Yeah, it's just Android Studio still like learning now. I thought he will change to the Java. So yes, I have this layout, and what I want to do. I want to make this layout. I use this layout to adding in new nodes, and this is my layout. So this is my new layout, and this is the code behind that manage that layout. So what I want to do, I want to design this layout to be able to add nodes inside it. So basically what I will do, how I add note inside it. First of all, I need text view or text input, plain text, whatever. So plain text here, ask him to enter the node title, and this one I will ask him to give something about details. So multi-line text, because the titles should be multi-line. So it's better to do it as a multi-line. And for sure there is button or image for add. I would use image always because I love images. So I say images. For now I would use images. You could use, as I told you, like wait, okay, let me just use a normal normal button, so make it nicer. Let me just take this button and drag it, drop it here, and say, hey, this button should be used for adding. So I just increase, and let me just design it. So first of all, I say, hey, this button for add. So make sure the text of it should be add note. Okay, let me just made my constraint. So this is my first one, add constraint here, and constraint here. Okay, just let me move it down. Yeah, that's good. Oops, what the error? No, that's okay. So now what about this one? Also, this is just I move it back. He just add two of them because they're already active. So I add this one here, and this is multi-line, as I told you, and this is my button. I would suppose my button always goes down below in the side corner, because maybe he add like multi-lines, so I don't want to bother myself with the content of it. Just add it here, move it a little bit here, okay, and add the button here, so just side, so make sure my button always goes in that place. Okay, so add notes. Okay, adding here, I just may change the title of this one. I will name it edit text title, because this one will have a title. You want to change it? Yes. This one I will name, oh, before that, let me just remove this one, remove the text from it. I said here hint enter title. Okay, yes, just hint for the user. And here should be the second one, which is edit text des description, and make sure the hints here enter des description of a note. Okay, and this is button for adding. So yes, I have this one. You could write in multi-line, and this one will add it. But wait, this button I don't like it. I just want to use specific layout drawable. So let me just go here, create a new resource. I name it bu blue, and I will bu blue, and I will use _color, and I will use the bu blue color that we already developed before for previous projects. So just go back here and the Kotlin one and drawable, we already do remember we just define a blue one. I would use it. I just want to make my code, my layout more professional, so just copy this code, go back, and also make you understand everything in details, so which would be great for you. So going back here to the activity add, and yes, so design it, this one, this is the button. So for sure, Android background, add drawable, and use the blue one, the blue button. That's good. So for now it is good. If you want to change the button, like for example 100 pt, that's good, go ahead and do it. 100 pt, yes, it's just, wow, it's too much. 100, 15. Sometimes you do just 15, not 5. Yes, maybe the height need to go to 30. Yes, whatever. Anyway, so also I want to add, if you want to add image, add. If you don't, just complete your work, like say, hey, this is my layout, this is my design, I think it is good for now. Now what I want to see this layout, but you now when you run your application, you will see only the first activity, because there is no way for you to see the second activity. The easiest way for me to see the activity, just go to here. You see here I have activity, which is main activity, and I have another activity, which is the note activity. What I will do, I just open this bracket, and I now this code, the filter will be responsible to make this activity startup activity. I just take it and move it to this one. That means now this activity will be the startup activity. Oops, I see this problem. Okay, to see this problem, this happened because we did different packages and we changed the package name here after you create the project. So to solve the problem, just I have it, my new class in this package, just added in this package, a startup package. You may, when you do project, you may not have too many packages, you have used one package. And yes, here I think here just solve the problem. just run it again, he will be able to solve the problem. So the problem happened because he does it in different packages and he wasn't able to identify, hey, what do you mean by uh, activity R? R is not defined in my resources. So now, yeah, just run it and see what is going on. Here we go. Yes, see how he showed me this activity. So I think now I'm good. Everything is ready. So let's go to the next video. But before you go to the next video, let me just go to the main phase and return everything back and make sure like the startup is my activity, main activity, not this activity. So here we're done and see you next. Hey again. The layout that we designed now, or the project that we designed now, to have two activity. One of them is the main, that show you a list of the activity, and one of them show you add. So what I want to do, I want to from main, I have a button when I click on it, you go to the add page, I could add. So in this video, you will learn two things. You will learn the menus and also you will learn how to move between activities. So what I will do, I want to add menu here on the top, have a button for add. So to add menus, just go to resource, click right, under resource directory, search for menus, okay? And add folder for menus. Menus mean the toolbar, what will appear here in toolbars. So in the menu, I create a new file on the folder menu, and I name it menu resource file. I name it main underscore menu. Make sure don't use capital. So main menu, this is my main menu. If you see, he show me what you want to add in this menu as an item, as a search, whatever. I want to add item inside this menu. Just click on it, add it. So if you see now the menu have a single item. Item, you could give it ID, or you have to give it ID so you could access to it from the code. So let me give it this one ID. It is, I give it add note. Okay, this is my ID. Here icon for the object. So what I will do, I just go here again to the Google website and look for note add. I think I see something add. I really like it. See, where is it? Should be here. I see it somewhere here. I see somewhere where I really like it, the icon add. Okay, so notes add, assignment, whatever. You have to see something like add, algorithm add, notes. Yes, doesn't show. Hopefully he will be here. It is like nice icon, show you how to add items. Let me just look for it. Yes. So yes, here is it. Here is it for the add thing. So just click on it. I will download the PNG one. Go down here. See the folder. Not this one. I'm looking for the new one, which is this one. So because I'm missing a menu, I will want to go to the I want to go to the down size. I would go to this size because menu is too big. If you use too big, it will not work. Later on, we will add all these images and we'll understand what we mean by XHD, HD, ADPI. But let me just now just take only this image, okay, and add it here. Now I have it, which is this one. You should add it now, which is this one. I see notes. I could add it here. I see the notes one. Hopefully, is it I see note? Did he get it right? I see notes. What? He was able to get it. Just go to XML. I give it name at drawable /IC notes. I think yes. I think he will show it. So now you see here he just give it, but he's not able to show me the image because I didn't tell him how I would like to see it. I would click here and I say if room. When I select if room, see he show me the image. So what do we mean by if room? That means if there is room in the menu, show it. If there is no room, don't show it to me. So always, that means always show it, even room or without room. With text, you will show it the text for it if you have a text on the item, like you see both of them. But with collapse, you mean the collapse on a collapse up, you'll never use them. But so for now, I use this one, show it always, and I name it give it title add, because some old device will not show icon, so they will see button add. So this is one menu item. So you could add more menu item, like for searching, for switch, different type of menu, a group of item in the menu. For now, I want to use the search one. So let me just take also, because I need later on to allow people to search also. So search one, if you just click on it, also this item, use it, we would use it for searching. But what I want from this one to be, I want them to show always, because I want always to see it enabled, see it here always. You could say if room, he will not show if there is room, but I want this one always appear. Whatever happen, he have higher priority from this one. This one will appear later on in the menu if their device size is small. But this one I need it to appear always. So see it, he adds the button for always here. So if you see now I have two items, one of them is search, and one of them is the name of it AB bar search, and one of them ID for it add note. So you could give it any name here. Or you could add, okay. Now wait, I have a menu, which is here. I want this menu to appear where? I want it to appear in this activity, or in the top of main activity here. That means I need to call this menu from that activity. Yeah, so what I will do, I just go to the main activity. I need to implement two methods related to the menus. So I don't think this one will work again on, so just keep it closed. So to work with menus like this one, like on create, this method need to override it. So you say, hey, oh, I need to override method related to the menu. Name it function, name it on create. This function will be on create menu, I think. So on create option menu, on create, then you say option menu. So this method will get called automatically like this one when the activity fire up. So now I say, hey, when this one gets called, he don't have anything to show, so you don't see anything here. But now what I want to do, I want to show him my activity. So I want to show him my activity. So how I show him my activity? Just I say I say menu on inflator. Like inflator always dot inflate. I want to show him r dot what menu from the menu dot the my menu. Why? Because I'm here resource, the folder is menu, my menu. Then the second parameter, when I want to appear this one, I want to appear in this menu. Really easy and simple process. You say, hey, I have this menu, I want it to appear here, and hopefully I'm done. Now if you run it, it may work and may not work, because we may have a problem with the search bar that we need also implemented. If you don't have a search bar like that we added in a few seconds, this code will be enough and it will work, because you're saying, hey, I want you to show this menu. He will take this menu as XML, he will pass it to this menu, and he returning that menu, and he done. If not, no, he will not return anything for you, so you will get trouble. So hopefully, okay, wait. This method needs something true return to it. So it's better after you done your work, you say, hey, I want to return something. He just returned super menu. Let me see if it's work. If it's not working, we will pass it. No, it's working. So now, yes, it's working. So see, there is the menu. Here is the add. I want, now when you click here, you have to be able to search. We will do it later on. But now I want to click this one and he show me the second activity. So how I do that, this will call it whenever menu create. There is another method, so I need to override it. Will function also will be on when someone select option. So on on options item selected. That means whenever anyone select item from the menu. So for sure, when someone select item from the menu, you will have something call for that item. So you would say, hey, you say this one. You say, I have an item selected. Give me the item ID. So I say when the item dot item ID. Give me the ID of that item. So that means whatever item ID here selected, give it to me. If you select this ID, bring me this ID. If you select this ID, bring me this ID. So wait a second, let's go back. So you say if the ID will be r.id.add, that means he click on the add. So here I need to go to add page. Okay, is that right? Because here you will see if the item is add. I think this is because of properties. You need to add nullable case. If not null, yeah, because you get null case, so you have to add null. If not null, go to this process. So this is for add. Now we have another item in the menu, which is for search. I don't use search here because I don't think search will be able to access to it from here. You will access to it from other place. That we done for now the part for the add. So what we have this activity and we have this activity. What we want to do, we want to move from this activity to that activity. How Android work, they provide something named IPC, and I mean inter-process communication. The inter-process communication that have activities, services, and background receive. All these three services are communicated using intent. So what you do, you just take your activity, add in the intent, send it, and you're done. So I want to start this one, which is add item. I just define my intent. I say variable intent equal intent, first character capital, intent, this intent. And this intent take two parameters. First parameter this, that means this activity. Second parameter, the activity that you want to go to. Then you say, hey, I want to do it. You add the colon Java. Why? Because this is it's still using Java format. That means, hey, I want to go from this activity to this activity. Then I have the intent. You say just, hey, start activity. And you send it the intent. This is how Android works. Just you define your intent, you send from where you want to go to where, then you say done, you say start activity, he will directly go here and start this activity for you. When you're done, if you want just add button for finish, you could do it really easy, just add button for finish. And for now, let me suppose the add one add in the second activity will be responsible for finish. So I made function bu add, because I don't have any implementation inside it. So I say view. So I want to close the activity when someone done. I said here finish. Finish, that means close the activity. So finish, close the activity. I want this one to get called from the activity add from this one for now only. Later on we will remove it. So you click, just call it. Later on we will update it. So now, yes, now if someone click that item in the menu, add, he will go here, open, grade intent, start that activity for me. He go to the second activity. When I'm done, I just say, hey, I'm done. He will done it for me, and that is close it for me. So let me wait a second and see how he will be able to pass data from one activity to other. You could do a lot with intent. That you will see it later on. So how we pass data also between activity and other, that we will see it in the editing when we want to edit something. So for now, we just sending start activity, and that is later on we will send data also between activities. So yes, wait a second and let me see what is going on. Here we go. I have to click on add. When I click on it, see, he went me back. I could go back by click this one, or also I could go back by click this one, because this one will be responsible for finishing the activity. One thing you have to avoid it. Don't try to do this thing. Like from this activity, you have inted going back. Then from that activity, you do, okay, I would do inted again, and I don't do finish, but I go from this to the main activity. Okay, you will see this one will work fine and you will not have any problem. But you want what thing you have to know it. Whenever you are in first activity, you start into the second activity. Then from second activity, you start into the first activity. That means now you have two layout in background. When third time, fourth time, fifth time, so every time you start activity, there is a new activity still in background. So that means the activity is not finished, which make it off on your application using memory, too much memory. So now I'm opening the second activity. Now when I do this one, I open it now first activity. I did not close the second activity, so now I have two copy in background. If I click again, he will open it that two times. So now I have two copy of this one working in background, which is use memory. So don't use this pattern, which is bad. When you're done from the activity, do finish and you done. So one thing I'm missing in the searching, I didn't implement the code for the search button. You see, I just have a search now, but I did implement the code. I need just when someone click on the search, I just show him the search menu so he could search. So you see, I just here implemented only the element inside the menu, which is menu item. Let me look through the item, which is for the search. So I say val, so search view, equal the menu. From this menu, I'm looking for the item. So find item for me in the menu, name it r.id. The ID of the item. Do you know what the ID of the item in the menu here for the search, which is this one, app bar. So just please find this item for me. After you find it to me, give me dot action view, then as search view. Why search view? Because this one is search item. So because this one is the searching item, I think find item, maybe what's the error here? He say nullable. Always use nullable because this one is nullable. So first of all, you define your search view. So I say sv, so my search view. Then also I define my val for search manager. Then I say, hey, I need to get system, get system service. From system service, bring the context. I don't know why this one doing this one. Context dot search. I'm looking for search service. Also define it as a search service. You will understand search manager. So now I have two things. I have search view and I have search manager. Okay, what I will do, I say, hey, I have a search manager. Just let me just define my search view as a searchable component. So you say, hey, search view dot set search searchable info. Then you say search manager dot get searchable info from the component name. I don't know, I don't have any component name for now. Component name, I don't have anything to pass it, just component name. Then you say, hey, search view dot the set on a query false on query text change. So on a query text a listener, this one. Then this method you just need to have on a query, he need looking for on a query text listener. So on a query, and he asked me search on a query, then just implement this code. I think this one he needed to be object. Okay, I know that's too many implementation here, but you have to define it. I have it already there implemented. Let me just copy it. Why I'm using this way by writing too many code? You're saying here define this way. You say sv to search on a query listener. This is you define it as an object search view, and you have this two method. For now, I will tell you what I want to do. I want to say I want to read the data that someone inputted here, whatever read here, so later on I do searching. So what I did, first of all, I did a menu to access to that item, then I define my search manager, then I pass my item to the search manager, then I start listening to the event. That's mean now whenever any text changed here, I would read it. So when I read it, whenever any text change read it, someone click submit, I will get it here. So when he clicks submit, I get here. Here, whenever the text change, like when he adding more, if you want to filter so fast. But here when he click OK. So this code will be to do later on, to do search database. Okay. Later on, we will do it. So let me just run it and make sure if this one is working fine or there is any problem, or is he able to show me. If you see before a few seconds, I wasn't able to click search. When I click search, it don't show me anything. But now I have to be able to see something. Oops, after all, it showed me this error. So looking back to my debugging, I would see this one. Null cannot be casting to not null. This is not reasonable error. So if I just go here, see, I see there is error here when they import the this widget. The widget, this one should not be Android. Widget is not part from Android. This widget is part from app. I think this they will fix it Google soon. So it's just app here. App.actionView activity. Do you see when I import the tool, he doesn't add it as app. Maybe they will allow you to do it as app here from here if you want. Maybe not. So yes, this is very basic problem. So just fix it. Now if I just click here, searching, I say hello. If I just click search, he show me word hello. That's mean good. Yeah, we are good. So yeah, we are good. Let me go next. Hey again. I think for now everything is good. But let me just add some final things. Like here I want to add some spaces before the word. So if I just go here to my layouts, I would go here and say ticket, and in the ticket, so if you remember, this is the ticket, and because I wanted to start little bit, I don't want them to start in the same place, so I want to add padding. Padding, that means inside the object. Margin mean between object and another object. So I say Android padding. I add padding from the left, so make sure from the left I add 10 pt. That means I'm in same object, still my object in same size, but add padding inside the object. See, I still holding in the place, but adding padding for myself. So yes, I think this one will be make it a little bit nicer. And also let me just change the top bar and other places. So looking back here in Google, this web page for using material themes, you see how everything represented by name. Like for example, this toolbar name it text color primary. So if you want to change this name, you call some properties in the theme name it text color primary. If you want to change this one, you call something name it color primary. If you want to change this one color, you call someone color primary print. And this one, see, so this one, these two of them, let me just take these two. Which one of them is color primary? That's mean this one. One second one is the color primary drink, which is he mean this one. Yes, so let me just copy them. So this one color primary mean this line, and color primary drink mean that line. So let me just copy both of them, go back to my project. I will go to the values here now for style. See, this is my style. He say color primary. You know that the primary color, you see it, which is here. Okay, so looking into this website, you see here you have different properties to manage your page. If you see the top bar, name it color primary dark. So to manage it, you have to call properties, name it color primary dark. So if I go here to my values style, I see he say color primary dark, he give it this color. For that reason, you see the top in that color. So then if you just go more, he say this one, name it primary color, which is this one. If you go to the code here, you see here something named color primary, give it color whatever. So let me suppose I give it another color, which is that only the color that I know, F9, 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 F9. So if this is a primary color. Now if I just rerun it, you would see this menu will change it, because the color primary mean this one. and the color primary dark mean the top one. So see, he changed it to this color, see it? And the color accent, let me see what he mean by color accent. Going here, oops, you have to see color accent, I think mean the internal. So then this also Windows background also. So everyone have specific thing. I want to change this color and this color only. Going back to colors, I remember we just defined number of color blue or whatever. Let me just copy these and add them to my colors. So I could use them here. I use them. So what do you think, which color you like? Let me try this one, the green one, and see, not the green, dark blue. I think dark blue, nicer. So if I just go to style, I say, hey, I want my primary color to be at color / dark blue. So hopefully this color will be like nicer for us as a top menu in our application. So you just learn how to use styling things. Yes. So wait a second and see how he do that. So if we like it, we will continue with it. If we not, that's totally fine. But you have to know this one will work only on new version of devices. Like I think after 18. Before that, it does effect, but will not work. You will use the standard one. So I doesn't have to click that one. I just have to click run and see what is going on, but I don't know why I clicked that one. So let me wait for seconds and see when he done. And while he is loading, let me introduce you to another thing, which is this bar. This bar is represented by navigation color bar. So if you want to change this one, you have to call something named navigation color bar. I don't know how to spell it, but let me see if it is here. Navigation color bar, just take it. If you not, let me just go try to rewrite it. So while he's loading, hopefully he able to give me the new color on the top. I doesn't have to do all that. I just have to click run and he will show me. See, this is my new color and the tops. I think it's nicer. Also, if I just use it that one, let me use another color for the very top, which is, let me use this look like Facebook thing. So if you just go here, I say, hey, I need this one be this color. Should be fine. Also, the down below, let me just just define item, and the item give it name. Did you remember what the name of it? This one was the name of it, navigation bar color. So just go to look for navigation bar color. That's mean the down one. You could give it any color. So let me see if it color. What color you want? Give it white, blue, whatever. So if you like this one, give it a blue. If you just search for any colors here, just make it like nicer. Use this one, dark green. Maybe you like it, maybe not. So I don't think you need to use word Android. You just navigation bar color, and that is. So now I just run this one, because if you change only XML, just run this one. You don't have to run all the project. That one will reload the XML things. So now you will see this one, this color for this one will also be changed. He will not use the black one. Wait, he give me error. He say navigation bar color. I don't know what you mean by that. But wait a second. What was the color? Navigation bar color? Navigation bar color? What the color name? Navigation bar color. You have to read it. I don't know why he wasn't able to get that one. Yes, I know that, because the devices version, I think we will not be able to support all the devices. So I say navigation bar color. Yes, I think what the error here saying. Yes, this one, that's mean he will not work on all the devices. So just run it and see. Why I click run? I have to click just the XML. I don't know. I just do it so fast. So he give you this notation. I think because this one will not work on all type of devices. Only will work on US version. See? Yes. See, now he work here. He show you that color and the down, that color on the top, and everything sounds cool. I want to make them all the same color, so make my application professional. So what do you think? Which color is best? That one or this one? See, it sounds good. I think using a green will be nice, but I like that one. So let me use custom blue. So everything custom blue. Hopefully now will work. So as I told you, he used Android navigation because this one, see, it's require API version 21 and after. That means this one will work on 21 and after, but the version before that it will not work. I think it's custom blue. See, yes, it sounds good to me for now. Like, yeah, yes, nice layout. What he did? Why he did not update everything? I think I need to reload the custom blue so he will be able to update everything. So yes, whatever any color you want to change it in the layout, just see the properties name and go to the style and update it and you will be totally fine. See, this is my application. I like it. Everything is green. Styling nice. Yes. So let me go to next and do more work. Hey again. For now our application look good and everything is fine. So what I want to do in this video, I want to create database, save information into it. And that is, so now I want to activate this page for saving information. He will enter the notes, he will enter the details of the notes, then he click add, it will be saved to the database. Now just saving. So first thing we need to talk about it here, Android support database. So you could use relational database in Android really easy. The type of database that support in Android internally, name it SQLite. So you could use SQLite database in Android, which tables and relation and really easy way. But one thing you have to know before you seeing this video, you have to go and refresh your SQL. So you just go and see how the SQL comment, how people write it, and just get familiar with it, because we are not a SQL course and we will use SQL here to implement our database. So even I think if you follow this video it will be easy for you because you're just doing very simple things and I will explain it for you. So to get started I will get a new class and I name this class DB Manager. Okay, so this class you will use it a lot in other codes. Whenever you go, just copy and paste it. So I will define my class, name it DB Manager, and that is. So what you think? I need to have constructor always. So don't forget that. So I need to define some properties. When I say, hey, I have database, what do you think I have to have? Database have to have name. So DB name. The database have to have name. Let me suppose this name of the database is notes, or rename it my notes. Okay, the database name is my notes. So what's the second thing you have to have in the database? Table. So you define TB table, and let me suppose notes. You name it the table notes. So what the table have to have properties for sure. So you say the table have 3 properties. Well, first thing is the ID of the table. So it's better to define it this way. Say column ID. You define it ID. This is the text, the title of the table. Then you say, hey, I have to define name for the name of what we have to save. Name of or title. Sorry, title. So you say core title. And you have also val for call the description, DES. So you say description. We don't care about these details because go to the database only. So this only the information we have to know about it. I will define the version of the database. So I say version, DB version. It's really important to define the DB version, so whenever you upgrade you get a new version, for you. So just I have 1 because I'm using now 1. So when we do new version, you change it version 2. So when you do push to the store, the people who have old version, they will not have problem because upgrade application will keep same data, just replace the new things. So also I need to define my SQL statement. So what do you think the SQL statement to be? Okay, basically val, let me suppose SQL create table. How you think to create table? As I told you, you have to see the SQL statement out how to write it. So in SQL to create table, we write it in this way. We say create, then we write table table, hopefully I write it correctly, table, then you give it table name. You take, for example, you say the plus, I have the name here, which is this name, create table name, then you go next. But I don't want to create table always, because if I just always create table, he always will create the table and remove the old table, which is I don't want it. I want to create table only one times. So I say in SQL to create table one time, I just say if not exists. So I say if not exist, exist. So you say, hey, create table if not ex. Oh, I think I wrote it incorrect. exist. Okay. If not exists, create this table for me. And then what the table have to have? The table have to have 3 information. So first thing, the table have to have the ID. Just open the bracket. Say this is my ID. You say you know the ID, column ID. And this ID data type, you say should be integer. So you say, let me use capital, integer. So you say, wow, everything caps is not working. Integer. So you define first column. You say, okay, this column is integer, and I want it to be primary key. You say a primary key. That means this is the key for the table. Every table have to have primary key. So for that reason, we added ID. ID is just a primary key in the table. So then you add semicolon. You add the second parameter, the second column, which is, what do you think the second column should be? The second column that is supposed to be the title. So you say, hi, I have title. The title should be that type of my title. Will be really easy. Just I need it to be text, and then you add semicolon. Then you add the third column, which is description. Also, you say the data type for description, I need it also to be texted. Then then you just close the bracket, you're done. So just really easy statement is a SQL statement. If you want just to add it as a hint, will be in this way. It will be create table. It will be this way: create table. If a get of not exist, name it notes. Column ID. It has this ID, and also have the title. This title, which is primary key, column title, this one, and have also description, which is this one. So this is a SQL normal SQL statement. This is what will represent the create table if not exist, ID, integer, primary key, and the title, text, and description, text, semicolon, and done. So title, it's better to first capital just to be familiar with it. So yes, this is my SQL statement. Now I'm ready to start working. So also don't forget to define one more important thing, which is the SQL DB. Say SQL DB, which is instance of SQL Lite database, and we will see it later on. For now it is null, doesn't have anything. We will initialize it later on. So now this is SQLite DB. For now, as I said, it's just doesn't have anything. So if the application start, the constructor will get called. So what we need to initialize the constructor, I don't have anything for now, but first of all, I need to initialize my to create my database helper. So make sure we have another class here, name it class here, and this class should be database helper for nodes, and this class will get inherit a class, name it SQLite that open helper. Okay, so these both the classes I just call them. I would use them to create database for me and execute command on the database. If you see, just give you, hey, implement members. That means I have two methods I need to implement them. Great. He will implement these two methods for me. For sure, I have to have the constructor, and also I'm calling the super constructor, which is hopefully doesn't take anything as an input parameter. No, it does take. So my constructor, for now, I just send nothing. If you want to send information, you could send to it, but for now I don't have anything to send to this constructor. So the super class will take three parameters. First of all, he will take the context. So make sure you receive the context here. Say context as an input and name it context. So context means that this activity. So it's get context, and also it will get the database name. So if you remember the database, you define the database. So this class need to know which database have to work with. You say you give it DB name, hopefully it will work. So which is, we are talking about this one, DB name. You just not use it until now, really clear. And the third parameter, you just pass nothing for it, null. And the fourth parameter, you pass the version of the database, 0. So what will going to happen here? See, this one he wasn't able to access something outside it, so make sure to make it inner class so he'll be able to access something outside it. So DB helper is the class that implement class named SQLite SQL open helper. SQL open helper is responsible to create database for me and allow me to open connection and read and write from database. When I create my constructor, I have to initialize the constructor for SQL open helper. SQL open helper take this parameter, the context, which is I will pass from the activity, which is this activity. DB name of the database, and null, and DB version. What this one will do, he will pass it to SQL helper, and SQL helper will work and see. If the database already available, he will not do anything. If the database is not available, he will create database for you. And that is. But wait a second, this code is just create the database for me if it's not available. Now I want to work on create the database. So after that, if he create the database, he will call this method, name it onCreate. After he create the database, and he sends something, this one, P2. Whatever name it, maybe name it P2, maybe name it DB, whatever. So get this one, P0, and this one, P0, just give it SQL, execute SQL. I want to run SQL statement on that database. What the SQL statement? I want to run this SQL statement. And yeah, I'm done. So if he call this one, you're just saying, hey, it is SQL, this one just it's readable, so make sure add this one here. So if he success on this one, say hey, to us dot make text, then send the parameter for it. Could you do this? No, you cannot. You cannot do this because you are in the class, so you have to do the context, and because the context to access to it have to be here, so make sure here, and you set it to the make it a properties and set it to the null as a start point, and say hey, this one, this dot constructor, call this, and now you could here use this one. So here you say database is created. So the goal of this one is just creating the database for you. So you say that to us, not to do, to us dot long, then you say dot show message. Just really easy. So as I told you, now when I go to my constructor and create an instance from this one, I say hey val db or call instance from this one, send them. So I will send the context for it, which is I have to get it. I have to get this context also as the input parameter for my class, because this one will get called from the internally and from the outside context. I just send this context to that function. When I send it to this function will check, as I told you, if the database is not created, it will create it for me. After I create the database, he will call on create method automatically. I ask him to create table for me. So then he will create table for me. Then after I do this, I need to this one initialize SQL DB. So I say SQL DB equal DB to writable. So I want to write to the database. So I say DB dot write. I don't know, huh? I just need to close this one. I say DB dot writable database. That means I want to write to the database. So what I do here, I just defined my SQL here, SQL DB. I defined var should be, because I want to initialize it and then I want to read from it. It's better to do this one var because I want to write and read to it. So var and this one var. So now yes, when anyone create instance from this class, creating database, and I'm done. Now let we create or upgrade. Look, when someone upgrade database, it's just really easy. What you do if you want to upgrade the database? Just you say db dot execute. Okay, this one 0, name it p0. So name it p0 dot execute SQL. I want to execute SQL. What you will do on the database if you want to upgrade? For sure, you will drop the database or drop the table if exists. You say if exists the name of the table name, which is the table name. So you do it here when you do upgrade for the version. When you do new version release, you just change this version. He will already updated. He will upgrade it. You just drop this one, and he will create a new one for him. This is just for upgrade. You never use it. But when you go to store and the people download it, yes. So drop table table if exists, because I don't want to delete something is not exist. So if exists, that's good. So now this inner class, I think it is good. So now let's create our method for insert. So I will define my function for insert. So insert, or I name it, yeah, just make it public. So I just name it insert, and this insert I suppose is just number of data. So I suppose value will be context values. So context at content value. Context value, it is the like really basic thing, like just you're getting value as a key value, and you pass it for the database, and you have to return something if you save it data or not. I will return something, name it long, because I suppose the data that return from database long. So I say val id, or yes, val for id. You say I have the database connection here from the constructor. I say hey dot insert. Okay, I call the command insert. What I want to insert, I want to insert the values. The values is better. The values that coming in what table. I just give it second parameter null, and third parameter I give it the table name that I want to insert data to it, or the table I want to insert data to it. It is this tb table. So what he will do, really basic thing. He will, okay, so sorry. First off, parameter is the table, and the third parameter is the values. So what I'm saying in this comment, as I told you, when we create an instance from this class, he will directly call the constructor, initialize this one for me, open the database for writable, that go to here and create database for me. So now database is using for writable. I could write to it or read from it, read and write to it. So I say, hey, for this database, please do insert which table name, then the values that I want to insert them. Then when I'm done, return for me, return the ID. If the ID should be 0, if it's 0, that's mean I don't know. If it's not 0, that's mean okay. So for now, let me just start implement the part for adding one. I think we don't have to do a lot of work. We just have everything ready, just calling this method, and we have to be very okay for adding code. So I just go to the page add, which is here add, and I have this method for adding. If you remember in the add activity notes, I have these two things we define it. We define this one. If we give it, I don't know if yes, you give it edit title, and this one you give it edit description, and this button will connect it with the event for add, for which is bu add. So now I could go here, add note, and I have this database manager. So I could get instance from this database. I say, hey, I need to get instance. So I say var db manager. Okay, oh cool. I need a new instance from this, and I send it this. So this will be the context. So now I have the manager. I just insert to it. How to insert? Just say, hey, call the method insert. Hopefully. What? Why I'm not able to call method insert? Maybe? Yes, insert. The first character was capital. So this one take two parameters. First parameter, the table name that I want to insert data to it. What's the table name here? Do you remember? The table name is notes. So make sure you just define it here, so you would know what you are using. So table name that I use it here, name it insert, that I want to insert data to it. And also, I don't know why I'm sending the table name. Wait, why I have to send the table name here? No, he doesn't take table name. He just take the values that I want to insert it. So now I want to define the values. If you see here, I'm using something named context values. So let me just define something here named context values. So I say val or var values equal instance of context value. So context value is just having number of key and value. Say, hey, put inside it key and value. What's the key? The key is, for example, I want to add the title. So okay, I say the key column title, add for me the value that in the text view, edit text title dot text. Okay, that's mean get the data that in the edit text title and add it in this one. And yes, that is. And make sure this one always change it to string to avoid any error. And also same thing, values, you add just you pass all the columns. So what I have the second column in the database, the column is description. You say, hey, I have column name in description. I want you to take from edit text des dot text inside it, and I want you to change it to string for me and save it. Now I have two parameters. I just pass this one to insert method, but insert I expect to return for me a value for ID. Okay, so there's two story for the ID. If the ID greater than 0, that's mean he was able to insert the number and I have the ID for it. So that means that the add is success. Else, that means he wasn't able to do add in the table. So just do again to us dot make text. Then I pass this. Then note is added. Then you say to us. Why to do to us dot long. Then you say dot show. Yeah, really easy process. For note is added. Say cannot add notes if it's greater than 0. So what's going here? Let me just run it and see. Then we just go through the process step by step. So yes, I just click add. You have to take me to the add page. So if I add title, I say go to dental. I have appointment with dental, whatever, just the title and description, and just click add. See, database is created. Then you have to tell me note is added. Why database is created? Because for first time he created the database for me. Now if I just say go to the school, he haven't to create the database again, because the database just note is added. He just created database for one time. So now I have two note in the database. So how this process happen? When I just create database manager, I just went there, he just called this one, he just called this class will create the database for me if it's not available. Then he called this method to create the table for me, and that is. Then I set up this one for writable. Next time, when I create my title and description for every column, as much column you have, you just add them here. Then I call it insert. He will take them and insert them in the database, and that is. You could see the database by going here to the Android and Android device manager. I think you will be able to see it, how it's working. You see the database. So, but we will see it next video. We will load them here in the page. So it is good after you saving any record in the add note, you just say if he save, just finish, because I don't need to stay in the page if he save, so he will go back. So yes, here we done. See you next. Hey again. In the previous video we done from the part of add, and we was able to add in new notes and everything was cool. Now I want to see the note that I added here. So what I will do, I just go to the DB manager and I create a new function, and this function I will name it a query, because I would use it for get a query from the database. So this query will take number of things. First parameter will be the projection. A projection mean which column you want to get. Okay, like you send set of columns and he give you like I need name, I need ID, whatever, you send it to it. So because this in this way, so you have to just send it as an array of string, because number of columns. And the second parameter is selection. Okay, the selection mean which rows you want to select. So you say selection. Also again, the selection have to be array of string. Okay, and the third parameter, do I want sort or not? So I say sort order, then also string. If I want to sort the data that I got it or not, increment or decrement or whatever, the data I return it should be cursor. Cursor, you will see it just look like table, and you just move through the data. So how to do? Just I say val db or qb, whatever, say SQLite query, define SQLite query builder, and you don't send it anything. Then you say qb dot the table name that you want to execute the information on it. So I just tb okay, db table name, the table that I want to read from it. Then you define your variable for cursor. So you may say my cursor, I just want to run query on this database, qb.query. I would send some information. First of all, I send the database, which is SQLDB, that you already know about it. We just already initialized from here. The second parameter I send this should be the projection, so make sure pass the projection. Third parameter, the selection that I want to do it. Fourth parameter, I don't care about it, null. 5 parameter null, I'm not using it for now, and I send the sorted, whatever, this one, sort order. So it's really easy to get any data from the database. You just send which column you want, which rows you want, do you want it order or not. Here is just a great SQL builder, which table he want to run the SQL statement. He define a query for it, and I think he is good now. But why he give me error now? So waiting here, see what is the error. He say function, create function. Why he just doing this one? SQLite query builder. This is correct. I'm sending projection, selection. I think he always need the selection argument. So I need the selection should be string. This selection arguments, and also I send him the selection which is string. Okay, so number of parameter. So selection which column and how he send them. So you have to send selection, and you have to send also the selection argument. Okay, then he signed null null. So this is how this one works. When he execute that result, he just return the cursor for me. And you will understand in a second. Think about have a table. What you want to get? You want to get number of column, name and ID. So you send him array of name and ID. Which rows you want? You just how you filter the data. Then how everyone is represented. So this is the function to call it. Where I have to call it? Let me suppose I go to the main page, which is main activity, and let me start just calling added here in the main page. Let me suppose I just add the code for now here. So load from database. So you say how I load the information from the database is, first of all, you get instance. You say variable db connect or whatever. How the same way that we did it in this. Do you see how we did it in this method? When we read it from the database, where is it? In this method, when he read it from the database, what he did, he just say db manager, then he passed the data. Same thing you do it here. You say, hey, in the load, I define my db manager, then I want to do selection. So in selection here, I would do some details or some work for it's better for me to move it to function. So I would suppose have a function, name it load from the load query, because as I told you, I want to call it from more than one place, so it's better for me to add this function here, and I just as startup I just call it from main method. So load query, I just define my instance of the data of the database, but to send the information I have to define number of things. First of all, I define the selection argument, how I select. So I say var selection rx argument. I want return, because this one array, so I say array of what? Array of return anything he send it, anything he just like anything without any what. Okay, return here whatever he sent here in this query. So let me suppose I just get something here, which is the title and the title string. So return any title, you get it, array of it, and that's, I don't have too much to say, just title. So when here he call it, for now I just want to get everything, I just send %. That means bring me anything. So this is the selection argument. The second thing, what I want, I just run my cursor. I say, hey, var cursor will be equal. I have the db manager. I say dots query. The query get number of parameters, as you know. The first one I send it null. I don't care about this the projection. I need all the columns. If you just need all the columns, I don't need specific column. I need all the columns. So in the projection, just send it null. That means I need all the columns. So that's good. And you need all the column. Then the second parameter you pass the selection statement. So I need select according title. So I say, if you see here is the title, I say, hey, select the title like the one you get it here. So like the selection argument, but you have to say this semicolon. So you will replace this one instead of that one. Then other parameter, I don't think I'm using them, the other parameters. What I have just order. You could say I could select order or not, des whatever, basic. Hopefully this one will work. Yes, des, or you get how the column name you want to order on it. I want to order according to the titles, so just send it the title. So really easy and straightforward the process, but I don't know what is the problem here. No, okay, I'm saying, hey, I want to search in the database for the title like this semicolon, and this is coming here. So if he send Hussein, he will search for title like Hussein. If I send semicolon, he say title like that one. So if you just think about, you have two parameters. You say and name like this one. So if you have, in this case, you have to pass here the name, and he will already understand. He will replace the name instead of this one. So this is thing if you just want to pass more than one parameter. If this one represents first character, if you add the second one, represents second object in the array, and continue. So now finally the cursor will have all the information about the things that we needed. So you say, hey, if the cursor dot move first, I just move it to first element in the cursor because it just looks like a table. You go to the first element of the table, then I just start doing things. I say, hey, do, then I say while if you have data, please move. So I say cursor dot next, okay, or move to next. So what I have to do now, do you remember how we added the data, those old design? So let me just stop these 3 lines and use my new design. So in adding data, I'm just being here, I have the information, I have ID, and I have everything in this cursor. So if I say, if I define my value for ID, if I wanted, so I could find it in the cursor. So just how to get it, okay, say cursor dot get ID in this way, sorry, you say cursor dot get init, then you give it the cursor name, say cursor dot get column by index, then you give it the index of the column, which is string. I have it ID here. You do same thing for 2 or all other properties, ID, name, other thing. So what's the second one? The second one is the title. Say, hey, bring the title, get title is a string, so I say get string, so column index the title. Same thing you just do for the description. You say, hey, get me the description and get string, because the description is string, so get string depend on that one. So because it's cursor, you go to the first cursor, you get ID, title, description, you take the ID, you pass it here, you take the title, you pass it here, you take the description, you pass it here, and I know too much work here, you have to remove it. Wow, yes, here is it. So you just pass it, add it here, and you continue. But make sure before you do all this process, make sure to clean your adapter list, because you need every time you will lose them with the data. So first of all, you just clean them. Then now your adapter, your array is updated. You just could send it to the adapter that you have it. This adapter, you just take it. When you're done, send it to the adapter. And yeah, you just take it. You can just take these 2 lines now and move them here. So he will go to the database, get all the data, and load it. So now everything is good. But I think here we will have a problem, because if you go to query, he expect to have something in a projection. So it's better to send them the columns. So in the same way that we do it here, I just define, I say val should be projection, it should be array of. So he send which columns you want to get, not array list, array of. So you say which column you want to get. I need to get this column from database, I want to get this column from the table, and I want to get the third column also from the table. So just define the columns that you want to get instead of this one. Then I click run to see the result. Now here you go, just you lose both of them here. Now let me just also support the search. So if you see, I'm just start sending, and also I go to the search, I add something to do. I said I will get the query, so I just pass the query between these 2 signs. Why I pass between 2 signs? Because when this one in the database mean anything, like if you say H, if you send H, he will bring any word has a H. If you send HU, he will send any word have HU. If you want like some name begin with H, you will add it after it. That's mean anyone H and then anything after it. And then you send the HU, anyone HU, start with HU and anything after it. But I want to get anything by general in the search also. So let me just run it again. Hopefully this time everything is cool and we done the searching also, and that is good sign for us. We been in good steps here and good place here in our work. So yeah, let me see. Yeah, so if I just search for go, not go, I say dental. Search, he just bring dental for me. See, he show me. If I just try to add, I say meet with my home, whatever, home friend. I need to meet with my friends in home or whatever. Just click save and it should be added in the database, but you don't see it now. You just have to search for it. So I said if you just click by general, you have to say meet with my friend, whatever. This is you added. So what if you want to just get the general thing, right? You need even when someone like always he lose the last thing. If you see, if you just click this one, you don't show you anything. Now we want to work more on this one in next video and make it more professional. So if we see hey again, I think our project is good for now. We are able to add, we are able to list, but now I want to enable this button. When someone click, you want to delete something. So how to delete? Let me just go to our DB manager and start implement function for delete. So I name it function for delete. So what do you think the function should take to delete? It take two parameters. These two things. It will take the selection and selection argument. Only these two things. And that is, and you expect this one will return an integer and get start implemented. So I get selection and selection argument. Like I want delete by ID1. Anyone have ID1 deleted? Anyone have ID2 deleted or whatever? So just say, hey, I have val for count of return item. So you say SQLDB, which is this one. Then you say dot delete. So what I want to delete from what? I want to delete from the table. Which table? I have this table name. I want to delete from this table. Then I said which values I want to about the selection statement I want to do it, and what the argument, and that is. Then I say return the count. Okay, so now it's good for now. So the function is good. The function get the selection argument, the selection argument, and he will able to delete. If I say select ID equal 1, he will delete ID equal 1. That's good. So now let me go back to the ticket. If you see in the ticket, we have something named delete. If you see the delete now, doesn't have any ID, so we just give it ID. So I say, hey, this is my delete. Name it mgview. So it's better to give it specific ID so people could access to it. I don't know why always this one just take time for until give me ability to access to it. I say mgview delete. Okay, delete. Okay, this is for the delete. So how to access to this button? I just go where I did implement for this one. Do you remember in the adapter? This was for base adapter. So here in my view, I have to be able to access to that one, which is mgview. Then I say set on a click listener when someone click on it. So I say on a click listener. So I want to listen for when someone click on this delete. So what I will do if someone click on it, I want to delete the object. So first of all, I have DB manager. I get an instance from DB manager. I say var, okay, DB. I do it same way that I did before. I don't want to do something like for you like you don't know about it. Same thing, DB manager, and that is. So var for DB manager, this. I don't send this because I'm in this class. So now we need to do some update. This class need to get the context also. So suppose I'm getting the context. See, always the context you need it, because in some places is necessary. Context, and this, and also this one you just have to define it here in your class, an adapter, and you just give it initial value called null. Make sure then the context have to be initialized from here. Then anyone want to call it, he have to send the context. So he just have also this. When he call me, he send me this. I get it as a context this. So now I could send it here to that one. Okay. So DB manager getting this dot context. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully it should work. So this dot context, not this context, this just say context, I think will be enough, because you will able to know it. It isn't my, why he was able to know about this one? Ah, yes, it should be this dot context, but this one I think its properties have to be read it in this way. So then I want to delete. I say, hey, db dot, I want you to delete, but delete take two arguments. First argument, what we want to delete, then how to delete them. So how the process for delete? Okay, really basic. Same way that you did it, if you remember, in the selection here, we define the array, then what we want to do, and that is just do same thing. What you have, the selection argument. So here, just go back, and this one, define your selection argument. What I want to delete, I want to delete according the ID, but for now I want to delete the ID of the selected object, which is this one, my node. Notes, not why I say node, my notes. So my notes dot ID, according the ID, I say not ID. So get array, then here I send two parameters. First off, a selection, I say if ID equal this sign, then I send it the selection argument. So that's mean I'm sending the ID will be this one, and that is, but where is the error here? He said there is error, but I don't know what is the error. He said have to be integer. Yes, because the selection here have to be integer, because this delete he get the result as strings. You could do it as integer. You could, I think you could do it int, and it should work. If not, we change no, should be centric. So make sure to go back here, and when you send it in this way, when you send the argument, this node, you just convert it to string, so just to avoid the errors. So just selection argument ID equal that one, and he have to be able to delete that item according the ID. See how we was able to access to delete? Same thing we will do it with update. So let we see, will he be able to delete it or not? But you know what, before I run it, when he deleted, I don't see it deleted. I have to, after I delete it, I have to call this method to reload the item again. So I have to call the load item again after I do the delete, because now according the work we have it for now, if you delete any object, you will not see it as gone from the menu. See, I just deleted, I will not see it unless I just close it and reopen it again to see it, and we will fix this problems in seconds. So what I want to do now, I want just delete it, he will remove it. Now yes, when he delete it, he will call this method, he will reload the items again in the menu, and that is all what he will do. So yes, really amazing, really awesome. I think we did a great job until now, yes, with this amazing project. So wait a second, see what he will do. Yes, so see, I have now two items, he just deleted that one, but now if I just remove it, he directly remove it for you. Why? Because he was able to identify, delete, then reload again. Here we done. Thank you for watching. See you next. Hey again. In this video we will enable the edit button. So now what I want to do, I want when someone click edit, he have to take me I just click delete. click edit. You have to take me to this page, and I was able to edit the things. So let me just add something. Go to dental meet to see the updates. Okay, this is just one thing. You could add more. You did not see it now because you didn't load again. You just have to close the app and reopen it. And I will fix this thing in a second. Wait, before I do that, let me fix this thing. So the problem happened because this one is called only one time when the onCreate method. I could call it again and something made it on resume, that on resume. So that's mean when the form come back again, call it, which is I already added here. Yes, so on resume, hopefully, and just call it. That's mean, hey, I want you to call this method when the form on resume. That's mean when it was deactivated and it's coming back on the screen. So now he doesn't call this one when we close the second activity. Why? Because this process will not fire up this method, and we will talk on more details about this thing. But now with the on resume, he will call out whenever the form get active again. So whenever the form get active, then he will load the things again, which is I wanted in this video because it helped me to see the updates. Don't want to restart. So yes, before go forward, let me just fix this thing only and make sure it's working. So yes, adding. So let me just add test my homework, meet with my professor to fix my homework, whatever. Just click here. Now if you save it, you will see a directory here. See, you just updated. Why? Because this one will get fired automatically when the form be active, and we'll go on details about activities lifecycle. But let me talk about delete now. Delete same as insert, I think. So sorry, update. So function, name it update. So what do you think in update you will get? To update, you have to get the values, new values. You want to update them, so they should be content values. Okay, and also you need to get the selection. Okay, should be this selection is the string what you want to select, and for sure selection argument. Selection arrays should be array of string. Okay, so this is three things only you needed. You could return value integer, you seeing if the update done or not, and that is. So to do updates, same thing, just say for variable count equal SQL db.update, and the update take number of parameters. First of all, the table name, which is same as this one. Second thing, you send it which the values that you want to update. Then you send the selection and selection argument, and then you're done. Return this, return the count. So yes, this is all what you will do to do the update. So now wait, how I do updates? If I just go back to the main activity, I need to pass all the information that I have it here to this page. Then from this page I do click update to update them. So do you remember before when we worked with the intent and how he helped us to go from one activity to another? Was this one? I would use it with passing parameters. So wait back and we go back. So what we have here, we have something image, and this image, name it mgview. So really, let me rename it with a new name it like image edit. So mgview edit, would use it for edit, and this mgview will get called from main activity here. When not this one, it will get called from the same place here, which is my view dot mgview delete mgview update in this way, mgview edit get set on click listener, then you say on click listener, just calling this, wait a second, say on click listener. Okay, and you write your code here. I don't know why this one is not correct. Yeah, maybe set repeated. Now what I want to do, I just define my intent, and also I want to go to that activity, but here he say hey, I don't know what you mean by intent. Maybe he needs you to write context dot intent. If not, it's really, I could fix it, just he wasn't able to understand this one inside this class, so it's better to call it from outside the class, like go to update, just define method, go to update function, and this function gets 3 parameter, or get just the note as object, note, which is note. Okay, and it will go to the second activity, and who called this one? This class it will get called from this class. Okay, and this class, when he called this method, he will send the object, which is the note. So I want to go to the next activity. Hey, this is my note. He get this note here. You want to pass it to this activity. So to pass it, you just add it inside the intent. You say, hey, put extra. You just, for example, add the ID, and you add the value for it, which is note dot ID. See? Then you do same thing for the 3 elements. So you just pass element inside the intent. So you pass ID, you pass the name, you pass the name, you pass the description, DES. Okay, then not DES. Then all these 3 things, node. So all these 3 things will be passed. What will be passed to this activity? Now we are in this activity. I just want to read the data from the intent. Just I define variable. I name it bundle, and this bundle should be instance of something named bundle. So just I say, hey, intent dot extra. So he will read all the information that passed inside the bundle, which is this information that passed inside the bundle. I just now try to read these data in this page. So, okay, how to read it? Make sure you use try catch, because maybe in some cases we don't send the data. So I define here variable ID equal 0, because I suppose by default ID 0 for add operation. And if it's not ID 0, that means I'm reading something from the bundle. So I say bundle dot get integer, because the value for the ID should be integer, and make sure you write the same thing he wrote it here. If you write it ID, get it as an ID. Okay, and what's more you need is just me catch this thing ex exception, and make sure there what I need more, I need here for edit title should be get in this way. Wait, this one thing, edit title should be get from the bundle, but in the bundle here we are getting string. Why get string? Because the data of the title, you know that this title or this name should be string, so should I get as string, but ID is integer, so I get it as integer. This is how you read the data. Make sure just to convert it to string if this one have any problem, to string, yeah, just to avoid any bugs that may happen. Same thing for the description. I will fix it if there is any error in seconds. So again, in the bundle, just get string and give it a key. Like I only want to give it this key. Okay, this key. You could don't add this one, and you said by default give me ID 0, and you say here if the ID is not equal 0, just come and read more properties, and you could remove that thing for the for 2 or for try catch. Why? because here you're saying, hey, try to read the ID. If you don't have data and ID, give me 0, because in the case of just click add, here you don't have any information passed, so there is no ID. If you was able to read ID, he will give a 0, you get a 0. Say if it's 0, don't do anything. If it's not 0, read this information. But I don't know why he give me this. Hey, I still having a problem. I think what the message saying, he say editable. Okay, I understand. Dot text, that means just reading. But if you want to set it, you say set text. Okay, so you will be able to set the text. Text only, that means you read the thing. Readable only. So I say set text. Okay, you set it. Now you have everything. The ID is 0. So you say here, you now wait, you have a thing here. I have information, I'm using them, but I have two cases here. For this for add, you say if the ID equal 0, that means the process is add and I don't have any problem. And otherwise, I maybe have the case of update, that means the ID is not 0. I have to call the update. So I'll still same one here, but I'm calling this one for dot update. Okay. The update take number of parameters. For first one is the values that we have it already. Second one, the information about like which row I want to update, so he will understand. Like selection, I say, hey, the ID, I want them according the ID equal this one, and I pass here the array of for the I have to define my selection array. I say variable selection rx, and I pass to this one, I pass it array of the ID dot to string. You know that the ID have to change to string, so you could read it. So I just take this one, pass it as a third parameter, take whatever ID you want to update it, and you have to, by the end you have to think if he just returns 0 greater than 0, he was added, is not, he wasn't. So in the both cases, I just copy this code here. If you see it, yeah, just copy this code here and add it here, same result. So now if he is ID equals 0, that means he just click this thing, he just click home page, he doesn't passing information. If ID doesn't equal 0, that means the data is passes, so I'm doing update. If data equals 0, that means no, I just want to insert. So yeah, this is basic process that we did, and let me wait for seconds and see if we are able to edit things in this activity. And if we edit, if you are able to edit, that means we did a great job until now. So if I just click edit, so yeah, he passed the information. So I say instead of homework, I change it to test my, click save, he have to update it, so if he change it to my only. What if I want to add? I said he wasn't able to call add. Do you know why? Because here he got into error, into get integer. Maybe he tried to get ID, he just fall into error because this one. So just basically added it between catch and try to avoid this type of error. I don't know exactly what the case is, but I think because he was able to initialize it, he was able to read ID, say, hey, who is ID? I don't know ID, who is it? So break. But before a few seconds he was able to break it because he have the information about ID, so he was able to read it and pass it. So yes, let we see how we will be able to pass this information. So seconds, and we will see everything. So now if I just click home page, this one, he have to pass me to the second page, and he have to enable me to add. What's the error here? You say this is error. Oops, bundle.get extra. Okay, maybe this one, he doesn't have extra. Yes, it happened. Always, this should not happen in Java, but now it happened in Kotlin, because if you say if it gets 0, you say you give it a default value, so he doesn't have to fail, but now he's failing because I think they're just having some bugs. They will fix it soon, but it shouldn't be in this case in the future. But just for now, I didn't try catch. Click add, so he will consider this case as adding operation. I say cool, I say meet with cool people. Okay, then I just click save. You have to add cool, meet with cool people. So even everything is good, if I just look for cool, search, you give me cool. That's good. So here we're done. Thank you for watching. See you next. Hey again. Now the app sound cool. I just want to change something. The app name and the app icon. So if you just go here, the main face, you will see the app icon, which is coming from this one, which is this one. So to set it, I just go to download. I already download image for my app, which is this one. I just Control C. Before that, I just give it name, make sure it doesn't have any spelling wrong. App icon, and don't use capital and unique numbers. Just copy it, go to the drawable, paste it. So app icon. Now you have it here. Now from here you could change it at drawable, and app icon. Make sure app icon, change the icon. Then here's app name. That's mean the name of your app. If you see in the other activity we use this name. So if you just see what this mean, what mean add string.app name, just click on it. It will take you to another file which is here, which lives here. Name is string. You give it name, which is startup. So for that reason you see it here startup, and you see it in the menu as a startup. So let me say name it my notes. Okay, this app name. So now if you just rerun it, you will see it like in the way of that you want it to see. So you will see it note app, and that is exactly what you want to see. So wait for a second, let me see how it's going. So hopefully everything is cool for now. Yes. So yes, let me see. So now the app should start it. The app should have notes, my notes as a name. If I just go to the home page or the menu apps, I have to see it with the new icon that I added to it, which is this one. Did you see it? Yes. Wait a second. Don't know why this one opened it. Wait. Something wrong. So see, here is the app icon, my notes. See how is it located? So because I give it that icon, click on it, this is my app. So yes, how it's work, like if you see, just resource mean your resource, and here you add resource in English. What if you want to support more than one language? Like this one, how your app appear if the device operating system is English. To support more than one language, just click right here and click adding resource file, and name it same name you have it here, strings. Name it strings / the language that you wanted. For example, here you add the language, you say /AR. For example, you want support Arabic also. You want support to French, you say /FR. Every language have like shortcut you just use, you could find if you Google it. So yes, strings, same name file, FR for French. So just save it. Now I don't have anything. See, he give me sign for French. I just copy this code, add it here, replace it with this one, make it app name, my notes. If I just go to the translator and try to convert my notes to French. So French. So this is how they write my notes. So if you just take it, add it here back in this file. Now if I just rerun the app and change the font language, he will directly change the app name. So see, the app name is now my notes, because now he's reading from this file automatically, because he read it from the default one. So this is if the the device operating system is running on language like French. So wait a second, let me see what you do. You will not see any change because the language is still English. So if you just click home, just go to setting and change the font language from the settings. Let's be supposed to see where is it. Here is it. And so look for the language. So I don't know where is it language. So this is the boss for the language. Look for language. Language. I'm just selected English by default. If I just change it here to French one, so add language. This is input keyboard. I think I'm looking for the device. This is keyboard. Yes, this is languages. You say just click on this one. Look for French. Okay. If I just Francis, just select it. Whatever, just see now the device is a Francis, I think. Yes. If you just move it at the first language, hopefully now everything is Francis. So now if you just go to home, you just directly see your app is changed. No, he doesn't change because still I did not change the language. Why I did not change the language of my phone? I don't know why. You have to suppose this one should be the main language in the phone. So French. Yes, everything now is French. Did he use Francis? What? I don't know where is the error here. Should not be in my app. Should be in the language of the phone. But the language, yeah, he changed it now. See? Mesh, see? He changed it. So he automatically, when he see the phone language is not English, is a French, he just read it from this file, which is a great for you. Like think about, you have more things. Like here you have something string for add. Like you said add a new, whatever, add a new. So this is in English, but if you just change add it here in French, you have to be different thing. You have to add something. Look for add a new, and you see, hey, this is how to be written in French. You just take it and replace it on this one. You just take the name it add, and you go to the layout, which is this one, add notes, and you say, hey, wait a second, this one is have add, which is this one. You say it add note. You just say no, I will not hard code it. I will read it from file name it string, properties name it add. So now if you just here on it, he directory see, hey, this phone is using this language, so let me use the language of the phone. And this is great. Like let me just update more about this. The title for enter title, I just take it, I go here, I said string for title, so you will see all the things. Title, hint, this is the key, and this is the value. And what about the second one? So this one, just to update it, you just go to add, and instead hard coding, you say no, this should be now taking from file name is string, something name it title, and same thing, you don't change anything. To the description, just also take this code, okay, and you go to this one, and you define your code. You say des, and you give it this text, and you want to access to it from the add activity. You say add string to des, because I'm reading from string. Now okay, this is in language English. What if I just want to go back here and add it in French? Okay, let me just translate this and see. This is what they said, add it here. What about this one? Take it, what they said about it. They say this one, take it and add it here. So now everything should be cool. So if you just rerun the app, when you go to add, see, it's now everything is French. Like for that, I don't talk about something written in the database. This is something written in the database to written in your language, whatever language you write to the database. But I talk about the menus and everything. So now if you see, this is my application, should be in French, because My phone language is French, so I see everything in French. If I just will not do anything, just go here, map languages. I just change my English as a first language. So go back to my application. He just changed the language for me. See, he changed it to normal language. So here we done. Thank you for watching and see you next.
Hey and welcome. Let me talk in this video about Activity Lifecycle. Going back to the Android Studio website or Android developer website, you see something about Activity Lifecycle. If you see, you would see this graph. In this graph, if you imagine, you say when anyone try to start activity, first event will be run on create. And that's what we said. We said like whenever any activity started, first event will be run named on create. Then there's number of events will be run. Then he will run on start, then on resume, then the activity be on running, like you see it. So until you see the activity in front of you, 3 events should be run: on start, on create, on start, on resume. That be active. Then also there is number of events you would see it. On pass, you remember when we said if you just go from one activity to other, on pass will run. Then when you go back to the activity on resume, then the activity start again. And maybe when the activity is no longer visible, he will go to on stop, then on restart again, or on destroy. So let we talk about, or let me write the code for all these events in our application. So going back to our code, which is this one, and you remember I showed to you how to do on create and how to do on resume. Let me add the other events, which is on start, and we have also a method for on resume. We did it, which is this one, and we have on start, this one, and you could say on pass, and let me see how on pass, and let me see how they how these events run. And we have also on stop, and we have on destroy. On destroy, someone is really hard to see because it is running when the application destroy. And we said also we have on restart. So these the activities of the form, like on create, on all this the event. So let me just display a message. I say, hey, to ask dot make text. I send it this, and I send the message. I say on create in this way, and I say, hey, to ask dot long term. Then I say show. So this is all what I want to do. This is should show an activity created. This I would show it to on activity resume, and this one should be showed on activity start, and this one should show me when the activity is passed. So these are the events that I could use them, okay, to get benefit from them. Like you remember that one, when I go to from one activity to other, I get benefit. When I want to go back, I get benefit from on resume. So same thing on stop. Maybe you want to stop some thread inside it, and destroy, you want to destroy something on destroy, and this one you may need it on restart your activity. Okay, so I just run it and see. So if you remember in the previous videos, when we want to reload the data inside the application, we said, okay, the best thing to reload the data inside our application is using on resume. Why? Because when my activity is active, I just went to the other activity. The other activity, I did something. When I came back to my activity, I could add the code on restart, on resume. Both of them will return. But this one, maybe in some time he will not go on restart when I go from one activity to another, because my activity is still active in backend. So I added on resume, so because when he go to the activity again, this data will be loaded, the activity will show up. So let me just run it again, and just one time, and see what is going on. You would see the code. So hopefully we'll see. Now you would see the first when the activity launch, first when he execute on create, then on start, on resume, then he have to show me the activity. So a 3 event run until he show me the activity. Now if I just go to the second activity, which is add, okay, he run on pass. Did you see? Then he ran on stop. Okay, so on pass, on stop. Now I'm in this activity, on stop. Now if I add something, go ahead, whatever, welcome. Then if I just click OK, he say on, he add the notes. So he go to the on restart, then on start, then on resume, then he show me my activity. Did you see? So when you went to the second activity, what's happened? He went to on stop, on pass. Now he is in this, my activity was in this state. When I went back to my activity, he just ran this event, this event, this event, then he showed me my activity. Now let me just go to home page. Let me see what event that will be executed. So he showed me on pass, on stop, and that is, so my activity now in this state. When I just reopen the activity, you would say he just go back on restart, on start, on resume, and he showing my activity. So this is how the activity running. Now if I just try to call the page, it is really hard for you to see the on destroy, because on destroy just happens so fast. So see, you see it, so on stop, on destroy. So you just go on pass, on stop, on destroy. So this is the activities of the events. You see, this one is never done, because this one done, the activity never comes into foreground, and this is like specific case happen. So always think about your activity in this way. If you want something to run whenever the activity launch, you see on create, run it one time. He never run on create for more than one time, because this is will be run only when the activity is created, and this one also will run for one time, this when activity is deleted. But if you remember, he went to the on start, on resume when he showed me the activity. When I went to the second activity, he went to the on pass, on stop. Then when I reopen my activity or I go from home back, he just go on restart or resume on whatever. So now when you want to do something, when your activity completely done, add it on destroy. When you want to go to second activity and that time you want to do something, add it on pass. When you want to add something, when you go, before you come back to your activity, like what you see in the Note app, we add it on resume. So he just reload the data. So this is the page life cycle. So here we done. Thank you for watching.